Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Jeremy's Kitchen. Well, my friends, it is fall or autumn, whatever you want to call it. So for all of you in the areas of the country where it does get colder, this dish is for you. Because if there's one thing, well, there's probably a bunch of things, but if there's one thing that I know the people need to have when it gets colder in the weather, and that is a hot bowl of soup. And so, thanks to Mario Batalli, I'm going to show you how to make a minestrone. For this, I have the following ingredients: red onion, zucchini, a potato. This is 5 stalks of celery, salt. This is a leek. I've never been able to use this before, but I'm glad I'm going to finally get to try now. Whole peeled potatoes, kidney beans, cannellini beans, and water. All right, so since most of this is prep work, we're going to do the prep work together, and then we are going to work on our cooking. I just need to use half of this red onion. I just need to get the skin off of it. There we go. Excuse me. So, now what we need to do is we're just going to dice this half of a red onion. All right, so the red onion is going to be the first thing that goes into our pot when we're ready to cook. Now, the other thing that you also have to keep in mind is when you make this soup, it's going to have full vegetables in it, whole vegetables. So you got to decide how fast you want those vegetables to disintegrate into the soup. If you want it to disintegrate faster, you cut the pieces smaller. If you want them to stay in there a little longer or to be softer but still hold their shape, you cut them bigger. So for this zucchini, we want this one to be just a little bit bigger because this is not going to cook as fast as our potato is. So I just cut those into quarters, and now I'm going to cut these into rather bite-sized pieces, just like this. Good. So our zucchini is ready. So now we're going to cut up our potato. Well, first, of course, we got to peel it. And we want to make the potato smaller than the zucchini. And with the potatoes is when we're also going to use our salt, because the salt is going to drain out the liquid of the potato. Good. All right, so cut that in half. There you go. So I cut the potato 5 times that way. A bit smaller. All right, I'll cut this way the same way. Good. Perfect. All right. So you know what? As we're running out of room, I'm going to move those over there. And we are now going to get a new cutting board. All we'll need to use is need this for the celery and our leeks. I'm going to cut these. Now we're going to cut up our celery. I don't like these just to be a little small too, so Alright, let me trim that one a little bit. Now I have one more piece of celery I want to cut. Alright, that's a good amount. So let's get rid of these and then we're going to cut up our leek. Alright, so now, first, let me rinse the leek. Now, when it comes to leeks, the leaves here can be chewy and they can be dirty, which is why I just rinsed them off. But I don't need to use the leaves. I just need to cut that off and cut up to the beginning of the leaves. And that's what we will be using. So we'll get rid of that. More. That should be perfect, just right about there. All right. All right. So we're pretty much almost ready, except for one final thing I must do. And that is open up this can of tomatoes. All right, guys, so it is now time for us to start cooking away our vegetables. So right now, I'm going to warm up this pan, and then we're going to add our ingredients to them. So we'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back. So our pan is now hot enough, and we are about to start cooking our vegetables. I'm going to lower the temperature just a little bit. Add our oil to the pan, to the pot. And first, start with our onion. Alright, good. Now, because I started the pan with some heat, it shouldn't take too long. And yeah, I want to get these onions to be a transparent color. As again, it won't take too long because of the heat of the pan, or the pot, whatever you want to call it. You don't want to burn these onions, so just keep your eye on them and keep them moving. All right, we're ready. So we're going to do our zucchini next. Luck. Yep. That was mostly what fell in, was the zucchini. Good. just want to get these a little bit more softer. All right. Now, one thing I wanted to say, excuse me, is that there are multiple versions of minestrone soup and how to make it. With this, as I said at the beginning of the video, this came from Chef Mario Batalli on his show Mario. Now, after our soup is fully combined, we're going to start a 40-minute timer, and we're going to let this soup boil for about 40 minutes until we try it. In the meantime, I'm also going to prepare a lovely little pesto for the soup. But that is all going to come later. So for right now, we are simply cooking these away until they get a little bit more softer. A little bit more. So I just put away the other red onion half, because I don't need that. Yep. All right, we're good. So now I want to add our potatoes. So what I want to do is make a little heat spot right in the middle and add our potatoes in. Cool. And at this point in time is when I want to add salt to our potatoes. Because the salt is going to export any liquid out of our potatoes. So at this point in time, we're simply waiting now for all of our vegetables that are currently in there to become softer. And at the next step, afterwards we're going to add our celery and then our leeks, and then we'll continue from there. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back. We're now ready for our next step. But before that, take a look at our red onion, our zucchini, and our potatoes. All right. So next, celery. Alright, so our celery is in. We're going to let that start cooking down a little bit. Oh, by the way, I should say, I when I opened my can of tomatoes, I think I might have gotten the wrong tomatoes. They're supposed to be whole tomatoes, but it looks like it says they're ground tomatoes. So, but hey, it's still going to work just the same. And it looks like some of my red onions are getting onto the bottom of the pan, which is good, because I'll use the tomato to clean up the fond on the bottom of the pan, so that should be fine. And it'll get us some more flavor as well. Yeah. All right, so now we're going to add our leeks in. The aroma coming out of these is incredible. Well, our zucchini and our potatoes definitely are much softer than they were, that's for sure. Alright. Alright, so I think we're ready to add our tomatoes. Yeah, I was right. I got the wrong one, but that's okay. So now we're going to scrape our tomatoes. Use our tomatoes to scrape up what's on the bottom of our pot. Give it a little bit more heat. Now the last ingredients that we're going to have to add are our beans. Now, I also may have, now by the way, I got dry beans that are in the packages in the bean section. What you want to do when you're dealing with dry beans is you want to soak them overnight. By soaking them overnight, they will absorb the water and they'll become much easier to cook. But it looks like I soaked a little too many. So we're not going to use all of the beans. So first, we're going to start with our kidney beans. Oh yeah. Then we're going to use our cannellini beans. Mix those all in. Yeah, this is gonna work. All right. So now there's one final ingredient to add. And that is high quality H2O, or water as we call it. Take your water, fill it all the way. Cover all the vegetables and the beans. Perfect. I'm really hoping this is going to work out well. We will see. Okay, so now I'm going to set a timer for 40 minutes. I'm going to wait for this to come back to a boil. Then we will start it. Start the timer. So my hope is once after the 40 minutes, all the vegetables will be softened and everything will come together into form a tasty soup. Okay. Yeah, we're ready to start the timer. All right, guys, so our timer is now going for 40 minutes. We're going to leave this soup on there. So when we come back, I'm going to show you how to make a very good pesto to go into this soup to add some extra flavor. We will be right back. All right, guys, now we're going to make our pesto sauce. For this, I have the following ingredients: basil, 4 cloves of garlic, pine nuts, salt, and olive oil. Now, on the show, Chef Mario showed me how to correctly make a pesto, because apparently I've been doing it wrong the whole time. Meh. What do you know? All right. So, I'm going to pluck off the leaves of the basil, and we're going to put it into, oh, yes, we're using, once again, our old friend, the NutriBullet. Yay! I always get a kick out of it, saying it that way. As I was saying, pluck the leaves off the stem. The leaves go in to our NutriBullet. And there's no cheese in this pesto sauce, so we don't need cheese. That's it. So next, we are going to add our 4 cloves of garlic, and some pine nuts, and now some salt. 1, 2, 3, 4 cracks of salt. And now we want to blend this up first. After this part is blended, that's when we're going to add our olive oil. right, so now we're going to add our olive oil. That should be a little bit more. Should be perfect. Seal it and blend it. And that should do it. So now we are going to open her up. We're going to scrape out our sauce. Maybe the Nutribullet is a little too powerful for a traditional pesto. Maybe that's the problem. Oh well. It'll still serve its purpose the way I hope it will. That should do lovely. All right. Come here, guys. Take a look at our pesto sauce. Okay, guys, we still have 33 minutes until our soup should be completed. So we're gonna let that soup boil, and when we come back, I'll show you how we're going to serve it up. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we currently have 55 seconds until our soup is ready. So I'm gonna put you guys down. Okay, so how it's going to work is I'm going to bring our whole pot over here onto this cork. And I'll let you see what the soup looks like first. Then I'm going to add in my pesto sauce. And at the end, hit it with some black pepper. All right, so we're about to initiate the countdown. 15 seconds to go. 10 seconds to go. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Wow. Well, first of all, this smells really good. Come over here, guys. Take our first look at our minestrone. And, of course, we get steam. No worries. All right. So now we just have 2 more things to add. First. Oh, but first, I want to taste this in front of you guys. See how it came out. So we got some bean. So now, The smell is good, but this should add to the smell as well. Wow. Oh, there it is. The smell is just of the pesto is immense. It's being immensified from the soup. Finally, cracked black pepper. We did it. Come here, you guys. Take a look at our full and finished minestrone soup. Wow. Look at how beautiful that looks. Okay, guys, I'm going to scoop a serving for myself, take it to my table, and I will try it there. All right, guys, we're here at my table, so take one more look at a serving of our minestrone. All right, let me put you guys down. Bless us, O Lord, for these thy gifts which we are about to receive from thy bounty. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. All right, first, the soup smells delicious. Just need the water to wash my tongue. Oh, it thickened up really nicely. Got, I think, a kidney bean. I got some celery piece on there. Let's see how this came out. Cheers. Delicious. The tomatoes, even though they weren't whole tomatoes, it still works perfectly with this. Then I got a good hit of the black pepper I just cracked in, so that's cool. The beans are perfectly cooked. The vegetables are soft. Soft, but still have a little bit of crunch to them. I think, this I think is a leek. Nice. Very, very rustic, chunky, delicious soup. Now, sure, could I have used my stick blender to cut up all the vegetables? Yeah, but I like it this way. Very delicious, very good soup. Now, of course, I still have plenty left, so I'm going to separate them into separate containers, probably even refrigerate and freeze some of them. And we've got leftover soup. All right, guys. So, this was our minestrone. If you like this video, please feel free to like, share, subscribe. Also, be sure to leave a comment down below. Until next time, this is Jeremy saying, Bon appetit!